my voice is clear? Okay, fine. I'm good. Thank you. Thank you, Nirali. So let me ask you a quick question. So my question is, how many of you are running Google Ads? Or let's say, how many of you have currently running campaign on Google Ads? Because Google Ads is very important. So if you want to make a lot of money, Google Ads is one of the way to make a lot of money. So my name is Saurabh Pandey, and I'm into digital marketing for the last so many years. And Google Ads is my first love. And I spend a lot of money in Google Ads, and I've made a lot of money from Google Ads. Now I'm also visiting faculty in a lot of colleges, and teaching is my passion. And I'm the founder of Brandveda. So I started this company along with my partner around 5 years back, and I started with one center and started training to one candidate. And now we are having around 6 centers as of now, and I have personally trained more than 20,000 people across the globe as well. And today in this session, we will talk about very important is how you're going to make strategy when it comes to Google Ads. Now, I have realized, so you can see, I'll give you small presentation. I'll just show it to you. And fine, you can see, you can get an idea. You can see my screen. And this is about me. So I spend a lot of years. I've managed a lot of campaigns in PPC. I love Google Ads. And my interest is also into Google Analytics and shopping ads and Facebook and LinkedIn. And I'm also into hardcore lead gen as well. So I visit a lot of colleges. I've taken sessions at a lot of colleges as well. This is just an introduction about myself. And next part is, let me ask you a question. And my question to all of you is, so my question is, and I encourage everyone that please participate in the discussion. And my question to all of you is, what is your biggest challenge when it comes to you for running ads? So let's say if you're running ads, what is the biggest challenge? Can you tell me your challenges? So let me give you a quiz quickly. And let me ask you a question. Okay, fine. My question is, what is your big problem? So can you tell me what is your big problem when you're pitching it to a client or when you're running Google Ads? What is your biggest problem? Okay, fine. Number one is conversion. Conversion is very important because I want to do search ads because I'm looking for conversions. I'm looking for leads, right? That's important. And it depends on a lot of factors. So any other challenge apart from conversions? Because when you talk about conversion, it depends on a lot of things. Go ahead. So how many of you have problems? So how many of you are working as a freelancer, for example? Because I'm going to ask you another question, which is very, very important. Because after spending a lot of time in digital marketing, I find two reasons. There are two important reasons why people fail. And number one is I've seen a lot of people, they start campaign immediately. So if you're experienced, if you're having good knowledge, probably you can do that part. But still, if you're experienced, I want you to spend a lot of time. I want to spend time in creating, in doing a lot of competitive research. And the idea is always fall in love with the competitor. See who is doing good on Google Ads, see who is spending a lot of money in Google Ads, and just try to replicate those actions. And the point number two is we start, when it comes to Google Ads, I've seen a lot of people that they cannot predict. Now, I find this the big problem. If you cannot predict how your campaign gonna be working, if you cannot predict, then probably you cannot achieve. Because another word which is very powerful, which is known as optimization. So because, okay, Srijev Shah, you want me to continue this in Hindi? So my objective is, what I want to tell you is, अगर आप campaign चला रहे हैं, तो आपको बिल्कुल पता चलना चाहिए campaign चलाने से पहले क्या results होने वाले हैं. That is really very important because a lot of time we don't know, we put money, we don't know what we are expecting. And if you don't know what you're expecting, you're not going to get what you're expecting. Fine? So आपको पता करना होगा कि campaign चलाने से पहले क्या results expect कर सकते हैं. And the question is how you can do it. So we'll talk about that part as well. We're going to talk about planning and strategy in this session, and I'm going to give you a lot of valuable insights as well. My objective is simple. My objective is to make you fall in love with Google Ads. Fine? So let's see. And so there are quite a question. Question is, let's say if I'm starting ads for my business, my question is, what will be my maximum CPC? Now, the question is how you decide your CPC, maximum CPC. This is something very important. And if you're just using any CPC, maximum CPC, it's not going to add value. So for example, if I'm starting my own Google ad, I should know what is my maximum CPC. And the question is, how you going to get maximum CPC? The first question is, can you find maximum CPC And the question is how you are getting this information. We'll figure out that part as well. And next one is, okay, fine, that's nice. We need to check into industry standards. And next question is, what should be my ideal CTR? This is again very important. What should be my ideal CTR? Fine. So let's say if I'm running a business, Google Ads for let's education or automobile or travel, what should be my ideal CTR? I should be working on this part as well. This is again very important. Okay, Priyanka, you're not able to hear me, I guess. Let me check quickly. And let me know. Just to check, I'll just check. Give me some time. I'm so sorry. Let me check quickly. Fine. So now let me check quickly. I'm gonna make sure that it should be. No. Can you check? Okay, fine. Now it's okay. अभी आवाज आ रहा है आपको? Okay, fine. Now we'll move ahead. So the question is, okay, thank you, Srijan. Now the question is how we gonna plan? And now my question is, what should be ideal CTR? What should be your conversion rate? Conversion rate is again very important. And next is, what should be your CTR? CTR is again very important. Probably we should get this idea before we run any campaign, right? And the question is, how we gonna calculate this? And before we calculate, we need to ask certain questions to our clients. We should be asking certain questions to a client. And the question is, what kind of questions we can ask to our clients? Let's see this idea. And let's see. So I'll just tell you what question we should be asking. So if I go down, I'll show to you, we need to ask a lot of questions. Probably you might be thinking about a lot of questions, but things that we need to ask the client, we should be knowing what are their services, in what locations they want to promote. This is important because if let's say, okay, fine, Srijan, get click on our site. Okay, that's okay. But we're going to predict. And you can see that I need to understand which locations we want to run a campaign. And next is, we need to work on their collaterals. We should be asking what are their collaterals. So get there or flyers or print out. सिर्फ इसको दरवाजे को थोड़ा सा ये कर देना, थोड़ा बंद कर दीजिएगा, just a sec, because I've just finished with the batch. हाँ, तो वहां से बंद कर सकते हो, सिर्फ दरवाजा थोड़ा लगा देना, चलेगा. हाँ, एसी का मेन स्विच नहीं, एसी का आपको इससे बंद करना होगा, इससे नहीं है तो छोड़ दो ना, चलेगा. Fine, इसको सिर्फ लगा दे दरवाजा. I'm so sorry. So I need to find what locations they want to run at. This is really very important, because if they want to promote in Mumbai, probably we're gonna put a lot of money in Mumbai and not in, let's say, Goa, for example. So I also need to ask like what offline activities client does, and the question is why we should be asking these details. And the only reason is we should be able to understand their brand tone. We should be able to understand what kind of voice, what kind of conversation they're happening with their customers. So that is really very important, so that we can have the same brand tone value, same brand tone when I'm creating a campaign. Next question that you need to ask to a client is like, have they published any campaign previously? This is an important question, and probably might be scary one, because if the client is saying that they have not done any campaign, probably you're the one who gonna run first campaign with a client. And if they said yes, probably now you have to be a little bit conscious, because they've already spent money, right? So that is important. Next question that we should be asking to a client is, what is their ideal CPL and what is their ideal CPA, which is cost per acquisition. It means, let's say if I want to sell a pen of 6 rupees, I cannot keep maximum CPC as 6 rupees. Are you getting this idea? This is very important. So I want to ask to my client how much money they're going to spend in order to get one lead. This is very important, and probably any marketing professional will tell you about this data as well. So if you're generating leads, you should be clearly aware how much money you're going to spend in order to get a single lead as well. So that is really very important part. And let's say, for example, for my business, let's say I want to generate one lead at around 300 rupees to 600 rupees. This is very important, because what we're going to do is, when we plan, we're going to do some reverse calculation as well. It is okay. So once you get an idea of CPA, let's try to calculate, because that is really very important. Now, what I'm going to do is, I will show you is, let me show you a file. I will just share a file. I will show to you. Now, what we're going to do is, we're going to do some industry standards. Now we're going to see some benchmark. Now there is one good report which is coming from WordStream. So how many of you know WordStream? Go ahead. And if you are new to WordStream, that's nice. That's a nice tool. And you can also go to Google. I'll share the screen. I'll tell you what we can do is, I'll show to you. Let's say I'm going to share my desktop. Fine. And then let me know if you're seeing my desktop. Fine. So are you able to see my screen? Word stream. I'm talking about word stream. You can see that I can go to Google. I can search for word stream. Word stream. This is a nice tool. So I'm very sure that you guys are actually seeing my screen. That is very important. And you can see this is the tool which I'm talking about. Is this okay? Nice. Now what they've done is they've done some research across all business verticals. So we'll see that report as well. Let's see that report. And then I'll again go to this report. You can go to Google and search for word stream, Google benchmarks. You can go to Google and search for, let's say, word stream, Google benchmark. And when you put it here, you'll get a lot of details. You can word stream, Google benchmark. I'll show you that benchmark report. I'll also pass it on to you as well, but you can always search. Let me show you. So if I go here, you can see word stream benchmark. So I'll just open it. I will open it. I'll tell it to you. Let's say I'll open this. Now this is important sheet. Now from here, what you can do is you can always see a benchmark, right? So, and then what you can do is go this report in detail and just get to know how they're putting this data here. Now, if I go to, let's say, and then select your industry. So let's say, for example, I'm from education industry. So I'll go to 27. So I'll go to slide number 27. Fine. So this is important. So let's say I'll go to 27. I'll click enter. And then you can see that this average CTR for my industry. Is this okay? So now you see that this is okay. Cancel an average CTR. So I need to find CTR. So let's say if you're from preschool, if you're from primary school, if you're from colleges, if you're from university or tutorials, you can see this is vocational training certifications. And what does it tell? That if I'm running a campaign on search network, I should have a CTR around 4 to 5%. So 4.73, this should be my ideal CTR, and anything greater than 5% is good. So I put a lot of money in Google Ads, and we always get CTR average 7 to 10% as well. So it depends upon a lot of factors. But if you're running a campaign, one benchmark that you should always set is you should get a CTR greater than 5%. That should be my benchmark. So if I'm not getting CTR greater than 5%, probably I'm in trouble and I need to optimize my campaign. This is important. And next is you can also see, this is important, average conversion rate is important. So which is conversion happening at your landing page. And you can see that average conversion rate has to be around 4%. And for this is for Google Display Network. If you're running display ads, banner ads, or let's say YouTube ads, probably this is the conversion rate. If your goal is to drive traffic or lead gen, and you can see that for search network, it has to be around 5%. So what I'll do is for my calculation, let's say my cost per lead is around 300 to 600. You'll get this data from the client. And next is search network, it's around 5%, and display network, it's 1.44%. And if I talk about CTR, it should be around close to 5%. Fine. So I got 3 details. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some calculations now, right? So what I'm going to do is I'll show you another important screen, which is here. I'll show it to you, and you can see that this is an image. This is just for reference. Now you can see, fine. So I'll just rotate this, and that's okay. There's some problem. Okay, fine. Thank you. I'm so sorry. Let's see. So let's say there's some problem, I guess, with this. Now you can see, I'll just rotate this. Now this part is important. I'll make it. Now you can see that this is important. Now you can see that as per my data, I get to know that I should have conversion rate around 4%. I should have CTR around 5%, and my maximum CPL is around 600 rupees. So I got this from benchmark, and I'm very sure because we get a lot of traffic from organic search as well. And when we get traffic from organic search, my conversion rate is very much higher than conversion rate when I'm starting Google Ads. So you can see that this is a landing page. This is ad copy. So let's say you have created 10 ad groups, for example, and let's say, and you're going to have 3 ads. So I suggest that for every ad group, you need to create 3 ads. So if you're creating 10 ad groups, you're going to have 30 ads. And one of the key tips that I've given to is whenever you run Google Ads, make sure that you create as many as ad groups. I've seen a lot of people, what they do is they create 2 ad groups or 3 ad groups. But for all of my campaign, for my clients and for my business, I create a lot of ad groups as well. So even if you create 40 ad groups, if they're relevant, make sure that ad copy should be relevant and landing page should be relevant. If everything's relevant, probably you can always, and I'm very sure if you create a lot of ad groups, you're going to get good results as well. And there are a lot of reasons behind this, but try this option. I'm very sure you'll get results. Now keep in mind why people will click on your ad. It's not because of keyword, it's all about intentions. Intentions are king. because when people search on Google, they do have a lot of intentions, and you want to make sure that you're actually solving all those intentions in your ad copy. So that is really very important. And then you can see that these are impressions. So let's say, for example, you have got 10 ad groups, and you have got around 100 let's say keywords. Probably these are impressions, because those 100 keywords are going to give you impressions. Is this okay? So are you understanding this part? Fine. Okay, fine. So I guess you are able, so I hope that you all are understanding this part, because this is really very important. And now you see that what we're going to do is we'll see this, and you can see that I'm going to do some reverse calculation now. So you see that my CPL is 600, my CTA is 5%, my conversion rate is 4%. This I got from Google Ads benchmark report from WordStream. So let's say, for example, if I'm got 100 clicks, I'm just assuming that 100 clicks will be equal to 100 visitors. Right? This is just an assumption, because click is equal to visitors on your landing page if everything is fine. So I am hoping that there is no technical issues, and probably your landing page is loading quickly, everything is good, and you're following best practices. Probably the number of clicks is equal to the number of traffic on landing page. Let's say I've got 100 clicks, 100 people will come to this landing page, and let's say 4 people are going to fill this form. I'm going to have 4 conversions, for example, and these are the leads, right? And then I'm going to make sure that these leads are powerful. And one of the way, there are a lot of ways to identify whether these leads are powerful or not. And one way is using search term report. And there are a lot of other reports that you can see. You can see demographic details, you can see location, you can see pin code, you can see device, you can do a lot of things. There are a lot of report parts which are available in Google Ads, where we can actually identify whether this traffic is the relevant traffic. But one of important factor is search term report, which will give you a lot of value. And now you can see that if I get 100 clicks, I get 4 conversions. So 4 conversions. So one lead, let's say maximum I want to spend 600 rupees. So for 4 leads, I'm going to spend 600 into 4, which is 2400, right? So I got to know that I'm going to spend 2400 rupees, and I'm going to get 4 super duper quality leads at maximum. This is my maximum range, right? And then you can see that, so you can see that 100 clicks, I've got 4 conversions. 1 conversion, I'm spending 600 rupees. So it means for 100 clicks, I'm spending 2400 rupees. And if I divide 2400 divided by 100, I will get 24 rupees. It means maximum to maximum, I cannot spend more than 24 rupees. So my maximum CPC will be 24 or 25. It's just okay. This is important. And now I get to know that when I run a campaign, I'm going to make sure that my maximum CPC should not go above 25. This is really very important. And keep in mind, maximum CPC is different from actual CPC. So how many of you know this fact that maximum CPC is not equal to actual CPC? It might equal to actual CPC, but actual CPC is something that you're actually paying to Google. It depends on a lot of factors, and maximum CPC is what you're bidding on Google Ads. So how many of you have this idea? Go ahead quickly, you can type yes if you have this idea. If no, probably I will send you some references and you can go through that references. That's nice. So actual CPC is different from maximum CPC, and it means if your competitor is doing good on Google Ads, trust me, you will pay higher, but there are a lot of ways to decrease cost as well. So quality score is really very important. There are a lot of other factors as well. That's nice. And when I do this calculation, I'll get to know that I need to have 100 clicks. And the question is, how many impressions I need to get 100 clicks? And I'll do reverse calculation. So I need to have 5% CTR. And then in order to have 5% CTR, I need to have 2000 impressions. So 2000 impression, every 100 impression, 5 people will click. For 2000, I'm going to get 100 clicks. And the question is, if I'm spending 2400 rupees in a day, let's say I want to generate 4 leads in a day. And the question is, the ad groups that you are running as of now, probably are those keywords are capable of giving you 2400 right impressions in a day? This is the question that we should be asking. And then probably there is a tool, you can go to Keyword Planner, and there is a tool which is known as Forecast, and put all your keywords there. And then what you do is put CTR is 5% and put your daily budget as 500 or 2000 rupees, and then you'll get that idea as well. You can also cross check this as well. So what you have to do is go to Keyword Planner, and there is left hand side, you will first find one option which is a tool which suggests a lot of keywords which you use, and second option is forecasting. Go to Forecast, upload all your keywords, and put CTR and daily budget, and see what forecast they're showing it to you. It's a nice way to see if you're predicting the right model for my Google Ads campaign. And once that is done, we're going to start with a calculation. It's just okay. So let's say when I see this figure, I'll get to know that CPL will be 600 rupees, conversion will be 4%. I need to get 100 clicks to get 4 conversions. CTR should be 5%. Maximum CPC should be 25 rupees. Impressions, I need to have 2000 impressions in a day. If that happens, I'm going to make business out of it. And then next thing, you can always ask a question that if you're having 4 nice leads, what is the probability of getting converted into a customer? So any business owner can tell you, for example, if 3 people are coming from Google Ads, I'm going to make sure that 1 will take admission, which is conversion rate is 30%. I'm assuming that this is high quality leads as well. Fine. So our job as a digital marketer is to generate a lot of valuable leads. And this is really very important. Now we get to know that I need to achieve good quality score, and maximum CV should not go 24 and 25, and the cost per lead should not increase 600 rupees. Now let's say I'm going to a client and I'm going to pitch, and because client might ask you a question, client going to ask you is how much money they're going to spend, right? So a lot of client going to ask you. So let's say if client wants to spend 1 lakh rupees, or if you ask to a client, so how many of you believe that this is one important question that I've seen a lot of agencies they ask is, let's say you're having a meeting with a client and you're asking, sir, what is your budget? Do you think this is the right question that you should ask to a client? What do you think? So Chintanji, what do you think? Alpesh, Krimal, Nirali, Priyanka, Srijev, Vikas, what do you think? Is this the right question that you should be asking to a client? What do you think? And if you think yes, this is the right question, you can always type yes. If no, probably you can write no. Go ahead, guys. Okay, fine. Nice, Chintan. No, because and the fact is you will never get right answer to this question. Right? That's nice, because I've seen a lot of people, they make this mistake. They always ask to a client. So the best way is what you can do is always ask client what are the different marketing channels where they are promoting the business. Fine, that's nice. You will never get right question, because client gonna quickly ask you, okay, you tell me what is your budget and how much money leads gonna be generate and how much business value you gonna generate. So that is really very important. And make sure that you can ask your client that how much money they're spending, it's on offline activity, how much money they're spending in events, or how much money they're spending on other promotional activities. Probably that will give an idea about spends, right? But I will tell you, Google running ads and Google ads is like a nasha, So when client will get result, client will never gonna ask you to stop that part as well. This is really very important, right? So probably what you should be doing is let's project this. Now I'm going to give a proposal to my client based on this assumption, and I'm going to make an Excel sheet. So let's learn this. This sheet is very, very important. Just okay. So I'll go to this sheet, and you can see this is my sheet, and I'm assuming that my conversion rate to be 4%, and cost per lead is 600, and CTA going to be 5%. Now see, so I'm just assuming that let's assume that client gonna spend 50,000 rupees per month. This is just an assumption, and I calculated now that let's say 50,000 rupees, and let's average cost per click, because I cannot spend more than 25 rupees. So that's why the average money that I'm going to spend for every click is 25. So this is just an assumption. It means if I divide 50,000 by 25, I'm going to get 2,000 clicks. Is this okay? And you can see that, so this is what we've assumed. This is really very important. And you can see that I'm going to have 2,000 visitors to my landing page. And I'm assuming that conversion rate to be 4%. Is this okay? So this is important. And then what you can do is, you can go here, you can see 4%. So if let's say if 2,000 people will come to my landing page, around 4% people will fill the form, I'm going to get 80 leads. Is this okay? Fine, nice. And I'm assuming that this is the high quality lead, and make sure that you always check whether this traffic is quality traffic or not. And there are a lot of reports. And then what I'll do is you can see that I'm spending 50,000 rupees, and what I'll do is I'll divide by 625. I've divided by 80 because I got 80 leads after spending 50,000 rupees in a month, for example. So if I divide 50,000 by 30, I'll get to know how much money I'm going to spend in a day. And then you can see that this is the 625 rupees that I'm going to spend. So I kept around a CPL around 600 rupees, but I'll try to keep it around 600 rupees. This is just an assumption. And let's say I'm assuming that if 80 people they fill this form, let's say I will start giving them a call. Now keep in mind this is very different from Facebook ads. And by the way, let me ask you another question. How many of you are struggling with Facebook ads? Fine. So how many of you are struggling with Facebook ads? Go ahead. So Alpesh, Chintan, DS, Hasmukh, Krimal, Nirali, Priyanka, Vikas. What do you think? So how many of you are struggling with Facebook ads? Now there's a huge difference when you run ad on Facebook and when you run ad on Google. Now keep in mind that when you run ad, okay, nice. Probably next webinar I will do it on Facebook, because I'm a huge fan of Facebook, right? I spend a lot of money. I made a lot of money from Facebook, and I find audience building is important. But I will get back quickly to PPC, to my sheet. But the point which I want to make is that, like, if you are showing ads in a Facebook, it's like showing ad in a mall, right? And the problem with social media is people go to social media and they don't have buying intake. So for example, if you want to buy a watch, are you going to go to Facebook? No, you'll not go to Facebook. You'll go to Google and you're going to search for, let's say, Timex watches discounts, for example. So showing the ad on a Facebook, it's like showing ad in a mall where your customers are going to a mall, but they don't want to buy product. Fine. And next is when you run Google Ads, it's like showing ad in a trade show. When someone is attending your trade show, they do have high intention that they're looking for your product and services. And that's why quality of lead gonna be high from Google Ads. Now keep in mind, don't misunderstood me. I'm not saying that Facebook cannot generate quality leads, but there is some process. For example, people don't go buy, but probably it might happen. Let's say if I get to know that you're looking for a watch, and if you go to Facebook, and if I show you ad from my brand, it makes a lot of sense. So it means Facebook, you need to work on audience. I find audience building is the most important part on Facebook. And then there is a very important concept of funnels. Fine. So you can always check back. So it's 80 people. Let's say I got 625 rupees. I'm spending to get one lead. And now you can see that I'm going to give a call to 80% people, right? And let's say 64 people will pick my call. And then out of 64 people, I'm just assuming probably numbers going to be different from different verticals. But this happens with me. And I'm just assuming 80%. But for us, it's around more than 90% people. They're going to talk to you because they filled that form. They were on Google and searching for digital marketing courses. And next, let's say out of 864 people, I've given 85 people, I've explained them, and then I've let's say call them for a free demo, for example, or let's say I've given them my code or a brochure, 85% people. And I'm very sure that if I communicate with such 64 people, probably let's say 20 people, they're going to take admission. So you can always ask this to a client, right? And what is conversion rates? So if I give you a good lead, right? If I prove that that lead is very powerful, what about your sales team? What is the conversion ratio? And my sales team, they do have a conversion ratio, and you can see that of more than 40-50%, right? So if someone is coming to my center, I'm going to make sure that they're going to have more closure rate, more than 80%. Fine. So that's important. Depends on a lot of factors. Probably should be asking this question to a client, and then we'll get to know that. Fine. That I'm going to get 22 conversions. And let's say if my product value is 20,000, 22,000 rupees, how much money I'm going to make is 22 into 22,000 rupees. This is money which we're going to make if we spend 50,000 rupees every month. This is just an idea. Probably we can work on your business model, and we can always create. This is just an idea. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to give them this. You can see that I'm having another Excel sheet. I'll show it to you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have another Excel sheet, which is this. Let's say I'll go to this sheet. Okay, this is okay. And I'll go to the sheet. So you can see that this is the sheet. Fine, I've done this sheet. PPC lead gen. And then you can see I can always put the scenarios. I can give a budget of 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, and then I'm going to 50,000 rupees. And then I can forecast according to this, let's say 25 rupees or $2, for example. So so what you do is, you have seen this report. You've seen this report. What you do is, you've seen this report, and what you do it for 10,000, do it for 20,000, and do it for 50,000. Now the key thing is, now you get to know that how much money you're going to spend and how much money we're going to make. And then what you can do is you can always create ROI, which is return on investment, and then you can always calculate ROAS, which is return on ad spend. Now keep in mind, there's the difference between ROI and ROS. They are not same, right? So they are different. And then what you do is, so let's say client is giving you 50,000. Let's assume. So what you're going to do is don't spend. So let's say if I spend 50,000, it means I'm going to spend around 1,500 rupees per day, for example. What you do is, so 50,000 rupees, let's say I will divide this into 4 weeks. So I'm going to spend around, let's say 12,000, for example, per week. So instead of doing 12,000, what you do is tell to your client that you're going to do a dry run. And what you do is divide this into, let's say 1/4, let's say 3,000 rupees. So what I do is for first week, I'm going to spend 3,000 rupees. Fine. I'm going to make sure that I'm going to spend 3,000 rupees. And then I'll try to make sure that when I spend 3,000 rupees, I should get CTR around, let's say CTR has to be around 5%, conversion rate to be 4%, and I'll try to get result by spending 3,000 rupees. And once I get a result from 3,000 rupees, what I'm going to do is, now I'm going to spend 12,000 rupees, because I can cross check. I can do a lot of trial and error with this method. This is really very important. Fine. So always do a dry run. This is what my suggestion. And I always believe that there will be no problem. So if a client is spending 1 lakh or 50,000 rupees or 20,000, do some dry run. And when you do dry run, when you do testing part, make sure that you achieve those desired results as well. So I spend 3,000 rupees in a week and make sure that I should get some leads. I should get 5 leads. I should be CTR should be at 5%. I should get some required number of impressions. I should check the quality of traffic, and then probably I can raise my bid. Now, keep in mind, just raising a bid is not going to help, because there's a big mistake I've seen a lot of people doing. What to do is, if you're getting results with, let's say, 100 rupees a day, it doesn't mean that you'll get a result when you increase your budget drastically from 100 to 2,000. And how many of you agree? Now, keep in mind, this is so important. So what to do is, when you raise a bid, it doesn't mean that you'll get result, because let's say you have got 4 ad groups and you're just bidding 100 rupees a day, and you have to just, let's say, 10 keywords among all those 5 ad groups. It means you are having 2 or 3 ad keywords per ad group. Now, big mistake you want to happen, because let's say you're doing some broad match or broad match modifier or phrase match. So let's say you're getting results from 100 rupees, but the moment you increase it from 100 to 2,000, and I'm assuming that you're not creating any other ad groups or you're not adding keywords, what will happen? Google will understand that you want to spend your budget quickly. You're looking for more impressions. And what Google will do is, Google will try to show your ad more oftenly to larger order of people. It means if you're a broad match or modifier, Google will pick a lot of other combinations as well. So make sure that what you do is create a lot of ad groups. Use our tool, which I've suggested you go to forecasting, and then try to make a lot of ad groups and a lot of ads, because make sure the relevance is again very important. So try to create more ad groups, more ad copies, more keywords, and then try to increase the budget. Because I've seen in a lot of campaigns that if you have budget, if you're getting result, you're excited, you want to put a lot of money, you will increase budget quickly. Fine, that's not going to help. Probably a lot of chances are there that you will not get results. So make sure that you always try with the test run. This is really very important. It is okay. So I'm going to share this sheet as well, and probably you will surely get an idea that how we can plan as well. Now, this sheet is really very, very important, right? And now let's talk about some more tools that you can use in order for automation. I'm a huge fan of automation, and you can do a lot of automation. So let's say I will share again a screen, and I'll tell you some of the softwares that you can use in order to optimization, right? And by the way, is anyone using automations? Because I am a huge fan of automation. So I'm going to make sure that, but make sure that you should be good with manual and then go with automation, right? So how many of you are using automation? So anyone using automations with Google Ads? Okay, fine. DS, no. Okay, Chintan, no worries. I'm going to tell you some important tool that can help you to do a lot of automations as well. Fine. Nice. So now let's talk about some automation tool, and you can try these tools as well. So let's start. So I'm again going to share my screen, or desktop my screen. It is okay. So are you guys seeing my screen as of now? Screen is visible. That's nice. Okay, that's good. So let's find some tools which can help you. And the more tool that you can use, which is really very important, which is Optimizer. I'm a huge fan of this tool. And you can see that the best part is what the tool do is, you can see that they also give a free trial. So why don't you take a free trial? That is important. And make sure you must have some line campaign before you start with automation. And then what this tool does is, this tool going to help you to create a lot of ad copies, a lot of keywords as well. And this tool also going to help you to do complete research as well. Fine. So check Optimizer. It's a nice tool. It's going to add a lot of value. And then there is another tool which can use, which is Optio. So you can go to Google, search for Optio. And you can see the Optio. This is again very important tool that you can always use. Start your free 30-day trial. You can always try this Optio. This is again a nice tool, and this tool works the same way. Fine. You can also make notes. And next is you can use another tool, which is, I guess Bangalore-based company. I'm not very sure. We can check, but that tool is known as AdNabu. So you can go to Google and search for AdNabu. This is a nice tool. AdNabu. You can see this again automation software, and you can see case studies. You can go to the case studies, and you can get a lot of ideas. These are automation softwares. Probably if you're running product listing campaigns. And by the way, how many of you have run product listing campaigns? Because I'm again a huge fan of shopping ads. So has anyone? Go ahead. So have you ever run product listing ads? Because everyone is running behind Facebook, right? You see a lot of people are promoting shopping ads on Facebook, but I'm a huge fan of shopping ads because there's a huge opportunity. It's tough. Okay, fine. Probably if you have any problem, Chintanji, you can always let me know. Probably if you have any query, you can let me know. I can definitely help you because I'm a huge fan of shopping ads. So probably you can use this, which is AdNabu as well. This is a nice tool that you can always use. There is another tool that you can use here, which is Let's say you can go to WordStream, and then you have WordStream, AdWords, greater tool. You can see that, get your free copy. So if I click here, and what you need to do is just connect this with the Google Ads, and probably they're gonna tell you a lot of ways to optimize your campaign as well. So these are some tools that you can always use as well. Is this okay? Fine. So these are some tools. You can also go to Google and search. Go to Google and search. Let's say Google AdWords, and there is another tool which is, I guess, which is Insta on. Let's check this on. Fine. So I'll search Google Ads. Let's search Google Ads. If I search Google Ads, you see that this is Insta on. This is one tool that you can use. Fine. So this, you can see these are all search ads. And then you can always go with Google Ads as well. You can use this tool as well. Personally, I've not tried with this tool, but you can. I want to try with this tool. Probably, I'm going to do this exercise in this week. I'm going to work on this tool as well. There's a tool, and there's another tool which is Kobiro. Nice. This is also a nice tool that you can use. A lot of people use this tool as well. Fine. So that is really very, very important, and you can use any of these tools. Just check these tools, and then you can optimize as well. Even Google also going to help you. You can see their support, but I'm not very happy with the support team. But it's okay. It again depends. But they're doing a fantastic job. They're helping us. They're helping a lot of the businesses as well. Fine. So now, so you can do a lot of things. And now you can tell me if you have any query. You can ask me query about Google Ads. But my advice is, so I'm going to share your sheet to you. Probably you can always work on this sheet as well. But we can do a lot of things. So can you tell me your top challenge? Probably let's talk about some Q question and answer session. If you have any question, you can always ask me. Go ahead. So Alpesh or Chintan or Being Crafty or Krimal or Nirali or Vikas. If you have any queries, you can always ask me a query. Now you can always find me on Instagram. Fine. So you can go to Instagram because I post a lot of details. You can go to Facebook. You can find, because I do a lot of workshops and webinars. Now tomorrow I'm going to do a webinar on local packs. So I'm going to talk about local SEO. So let's say if you're seeing this, and if you're searching for, let's say, digital marketing course in Ahmedabad, this is just an idea. Digital marketing, let's say, course in Ahmedabad. If you search this search query on Google search, I'm going to talk about, fine, I'm going to talk about this, which is this. I'm going to talk about this result as well. Fine, so I'm going to talk about local packs. Tomorrow, I'm going to talk about how you're going to get a lot of ranking local packs. You can see Institute. You can see that this is again coming here. And you can see that we have got a lot of reviews, and we'll talk about how you can achieve ranking here as well. This is really very important because you, as a local business, a lot of people are searching about your product and services. And I'm going to talk about a lot of nice strategies that you can use immediately after finishing my webinar on local business pack as well. So we're going to talk about how you can promote local businesses. So tomorrow we're going to do that part. Go ahead. So any problem you have, so any question, answer any question you want me to ask, you can please ask me. And you can also check my Instagram. You can follow me on Instagram. And you can also check out Facebook page. So my Instagram handle is Saurabh Pandey Official. You can always follow me. So you can go to Instagram and you can search. Fine, so you can always search. Probably you can always find with my hashtag, which is Instagram handle, which is Saurabh Pandey Official. You can always follow me. Go ahead. If you have any query, you can ask me. And what I'll do is I will send you this benchmark report. I'll send you benchmark report. I'll send you Excel sheet as well. So both things I'll send it to you. Now, if you have any query, you can always ask me a query. Go ahead. Go ahead. Any queries you want to ask, you can ask me. Go ahead. And then if you have any query, you can ask me. Chintanji, Alpesh, Vikas, if you have any query, you can ask me. Go ahead. Any query. And we do a lot of webinars and workshops as well. So I'm planning, a lot of webinars, and I'm going to keep you updated. Go ahead. So, and any query. And let me ask you, how many of you are, let's say, freelancer, working as a freelancer? Go ahead. So if you're working as a freelancer, you can type yes. I'm going to give you some nice templates which can help you to get clients. Okay, how do we get more clicks? Okay, fine. So it's not about more clicks, it's all about more conversions and relevant click. That's nice. Okay, fine. So how do we get more clicks? Go ahead. And one factor is, so it depends on a lot of factors if we talk about clicks, but it depends on ad copy. And I believe that a lot of people, what they do is they create ads quickly. And I suggest that for every ad group, you should have 3 ads at least. And the next part is writing ad is an art. A lot of people, they make a lot of mistakes. Use all kind of extensions. So use call out extension, use cycling extension. Okay, we'll talk about Nirali. I'll just finish with this query, which is how do we get more clicks. So ideas, you should be doing a lot of research. See complete this top ads. And how you can find complete this ad? Go to this tool and find your top performing ads, and then you can get a lot of idea how you can want to create ads. Experimentation is key, and SEMrush is going to help you to do. And I hope that you must be doing SEMrush. So how many of you know SEMrush? You can always go to SEMrush. Let's say I want to see Make My Trip, for example. I'll click on makemytrip.com. I'll select country as in India. This is a nice tool, and you can always click on Start Now, and then you can go here. So you can always go with the paid plan, and then you can always go here, which is advertising research. I need to make a login, and then you can always go to advertising research and go to paid ads. Fine. So I need to create an account because they're going to give you 10 free requests. And what I suggest what I suggest DS is check complete this ad copy and try to learn from that ad copy. Make sure that your ad copy should solve intentions, highlight your USPs, and then try to increase your quality score. Position should be increased. That is important. So a lot of factors. And then if you talk about quality score, depends on a lot of factors. There are a lot of ways. Probably get connected with me. DS, what you can do is you can show me your campaign. And probably we can definitely, I'm going to help you to get more clicks. But keep in mind, it's not about clicks, it's all about conversions. Conversion is important. I might have a lot of clicks, but what's the point of clicks if I'm not getting conversions? Okay, for rural area, I found zero competition on keywords. So how I can quote to a client. So number one, we need to really see, because are people really searching about those keywords? Because if no one's searching, probably we need to do some more research. So Nirali, what I suggest is make sure that you do some research and find some valuable keywords, because anyways, you're going to add those keywords and you're going to run ads. And next is zero competition. It means hip hip hooray. It's a good news. If people are searching, if no one is running ads, you start running ads. And then what to do is just find your category and do some prediction model. Now, if you're not able to prediction model, what I suggest is you put 500 or 1,000 rupees, create ad and do the demo, right? Because I'm very sure after 7 days, after putting 1,000 rupees, you'll get a lot of idea. Check if your campaign is running good, check up about the conversion rate, and then you can always predict, right? So that's important. So if no one is running ad, why you are stopping? You should be starting running ads. Do it immediately. And if there is any particular client, you can always, we can always discuss, Nirali, about that client. So share me details about that client. Probably we can always talk and we can always find solution. But idea is, if no one is showing ad, if people are searching, go aggressive and spend money, because no one is showing. It's a huge opportunity. Okay, nice. So Chintan is asking one question. Now, Google has done some changes regarding a bidding strategy. How many of you know recent changes on Google Ads? Go ahead and can you tell me those changes? Okay, fine. So is it feasible to change bid strategy frequently? Depends upon result from manual to enhanced CPC or any other. Fine. Okay, fine. So let's talk about this question. This is important. This is enhanced CPC, and this is all automatic bidding. Now I'll tell you there are two things has happened probably last week or last 14 days. Number one, Google has changed bidding methods. Probably, but they're doing a lot of changes with target CPA, or let's say target first position, or let's say outranking shared bid, or conversion optimization. They're doing a lot of changes in their bid, and probably they've reduced some bidding methods as well. And point number two is they've done major change in keyword match types as well. So probably now it won't be, it's not going to make much difference with the broad match and broad match modifier as well. Fine. So keep in mind, so Google is doing a lot of changes. Now the question is manual with enhanced CPC. Now keep in mind, one point is, which I want to tell you, that there is only one bidding, which is manual bidding. Rest of all the biddings are automatic biddings, right? Whether it is target CPA or outranking share or automatic CPC or eCPC. eCPC is a combination of manual and automatic. What I suggest you is first try to get results in manual CPC and then try to use eCPC, because I have found that probably in eCPC you are ready to increase your bid. So I suggest you, my tip is don't do it frequently, but try to achieve result in manual. And if you want to try go with ECBC, but you always shift from manual CB to ECBC after asking these two questions. Number one, are you getting valuable leads? If not, never go with automatic bidding. If not, and the question is, who's going to tell you whether the leads that you're generating is a high quality lead? Probably client. And tell to a client very strictly and very honestly that, sir, if leads are strong, tell me leads are strong. If leads are weak, tell me leads are weak. That is important. And I don't suggest you to change bidding randomly. First is, and a lot of people, what they do is, if you're not getting results, I've seen with a lot of agencies, what they do is, if they are not getting results, they are in a panic and they think that automation, they will go with automation and they will ask Google to start a campaign and they will get a result. Probably this is not going to happen. Now, automation bidding only works best when your campaign is doing good or okay on manual mode. Fine. So don't think that if you do automation, it will increase. But we need to work on campaign before we do changes to our bidding methods. Because for my campaign, I've done a lot of target outranking share as well. Even first target, first page bidders position as well. So I've done all those things as well. But it depends on a lot of factors. But I suggest that don't do rapidly. Try to achieve a result in manual and then go ahead, because this is a problem. People think this is a panic, and people think that automatic bidding are panic method, which is not at all true. Fine. Go ahead. Any other question that you have? Fine. Now what you can do is, you can always www.brandvedaahm. This is our website. You can check all these details. We do a lot of workshops and webinars. And if you have any query, you can always ping me query, Saurabh Pandey 3112@gmail.com. And this is my number, 8460228470. This is my number. And this is my WhatsApp number. So you can always get back to me if you have any queries. So Nirali, share me your details. Chintanji, let me know what your problem is. DS, tell me your campaign. Probably we definitely going to help, because I train a lot of students, and probably my students, if you have any project, they can also work an intern, and probably they will also learn, and you will also get better ideas. That is also possible. Fine. And how many of you are working as marketing professionals, by the way? Working in a company, working in an ad agency, working in an IT company, and working on some projects. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. No worries. So what I'll do is I'll share all these details. I'll share you some templates. Nice, Chintanji, you're doing fantastic job. And probably I just want to thank you all, because thanks a lot for joining me for this wonderful session. Okay, nice, DS. Go ahead, because work hard. Experimentation is important. Try to spend. Experiment is important. And what I want to suggest is, if you're starting fresh, try to achieve 1 lakh milestone. So get 10 clients who can spend 10,000 rupees in 1 month or 2 months, 1 lakh, and then try to exceed that 5 lakhs. And if you spend more money, if you work on more projects, I'm very sure that you can do wonders in Google Ads. But Google Ads is very important, because I'm seeing that a lot of people, they are moving from SEO to Google Ads, but very few people are getting results. Strategy is really very important. We fail because we don't have strategy. Now go ahead. Okay, fine. So thanks a lot for joining me for this wonderful session. And surely we can do it, because I've spent my life in analytics. I use a lot of tools for analytics. We can surely do webinar. That's not a problem. So I'm really honored to have you all here in my webinar, and thanks a lot for spending your valuable time. And I hope that this webinar has added value to your Google Ads campaign as well. This is huge, and my objective is to make you fall in love with digital marketing, right? So thanks a lot for joining me for this wonderful session. And thank you, Alpesh. Thank you, Chintan. Thank you, DS. Thank you, Nirali. And thank you, Vikas Devani. Thanks a lot for spending. So dream big. 2019 is the biggest opportunity. You want to make a lot of money. And make sure that one thing that I'll tell to you before I finish up with this webinar is, the more you learn, the more you're going to earn. So make sure that invest more in your learning. That is really very important, right? So go to some NLP workshops, not necessarily digital marketing, but digital marketing is important. Do competitive analysis. Always work with people who are doing good job. See what successful people are doing. Try to replicate those actions. And this step's going to add a lot of value. Fine. So you have my number. In case if you have any problem, you can always tell to me campaign, and do tell me your experience about this campaign. You spend time. You can always share our experience on our on our Google business page as well. You can type Brandveda on Google, and you can find Brandveda. So you can spend 2 minutes or 3 minutes and you can share this your valuable reply as well. And you can go here and you can always write a review. And I request everyone if you can spend some time and to give a valuable review. Thank you. Thanks a lot for joining for this wonderful session. Take care. Dream big, and let me know if you have any problem. Thank you. Take care. So I'm leaving this event. Thanks a lot for joining me for this wonderful session. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye. Bye bye everyone. Thank you. Bye bye. Bye bye. Fine. Bye bye. Thank you. Hippe porre. Thank you.